There's a Deadpool game? Released June 25th, 2013. Back before the movies came out, back before this character carried any real weight. But is this game even worth it? And most importantly, who even is Deadpool?
Branded as both hero and villain, Deadpool was once a badass mercenary named Wade Wilson. After being recruited into the Weapon X program, Wade was subjected to experiments that gave him awesome regenerative powers and drove him batshit crazy. Today, the Merc with a mouth travels the globe in search of fortune and chimichangas.
Deadpool is an action-adventure shooter with beat-em-up type mechanics, but it's at its very best when Deadpool takes over the show. I love how he's constantly interacting with the player, something that you don't really deal with in typical games.
A one and a two.
Anytime you get introduced to a new character, you have an option to get a lore background, which is done in a super fun and creative way, which may have inspired the Spideyverse films. Deadpool is constantly making one-liners and jokes throughout the entire game.
Hey, hot tits, the pipe I was offering gives way more pleasure.
This game was truly meant for diehard fans of Deadpool. It really does feel like a love letter to them, but I almost feel like this game was better served just watching the cutscenes. One thing I really think this game lacks in is the overall scope of the game, because in the moment-to-moment gameplay, it can feel a little repetitive, which is really typical in the beat-em-up genre. But when it comes to Deadpool, I don't feel like that's what the problem is. It's most fun when you're mixing up your attacks from melee to run and gun, because yes, there are a wide array of attacks and moves, but one thing is that this game just overwhelms you. It throws so many enemies at you that it turns into a looter shooter, moving around, gunning down foes and collecting coins. But in reality, it should focus on more of the hand-to-hand combat, which it kinda does. It's just that everyone you run into is a firing squad. What the fuck? The real problem is that the game doesn't encourage you to use other abilities. For instance, it would be cool to have Deadpool's upgrades for his damage, health, and buffs, etc. tied to using momentum kills instead of just buying them with coins. Because upgrading your individual weapons, knives makes sense using coins. But it would be nice to have a return on value, using momentum kills tied to upgrading Deadpool himself. To be honest, the story is a little forgettable. It's Deadpool himself that's actually entertaining.
That's because I get aroused when I slap people. That's for all the furry midgets in the world. That's because the player keeps mashing the button. That's because I like slapping fleshy things with this hand.
Because Deadpool rewrote the script to fit his own narrative, it leads the story to be extremely over the top, literally jumping from stage to stage.
Yeah, watch this. Hey, there's Rogue. Flying just like us.
Flying right at us.
Deadpool, look out!
Yes, there is a crossover with X-Men, like Wolverine, but it's all through cutscenes. It would have been nice to have a side-by-side level.
Deadpool, quit fooling around!
Deadpool chose to have Mr. Sinister as his main villain. Sinister is looking to extract mutant DNA to form his own clone army, which there are a wide array of enemies to face, some taking direct digs at other characters and others not so subtle. Surprisingly, the bosses and mini-bosses are extremely underwhelming, leading you to just run around and shoot because melee combat is just ineffective, besides momentum moves. The more exciting enemies to face don't come until later in the game, where you're easily able to chain your attacks from one to another, leading to amazing executions. Deadpool kills Sinister multiple times throughout the story, but it's a fake out, just for it to be a clone. So much so that Deadpool starts ripping on High Moon, the game developer, for being unoriginal.
Stir this way.
Think it'll be the real deal this time when we find him?
Better be. Joke's getting pretty old. Even for High Moon.
Even with the final showdown with Sinister, it is against his clone, which is extremely anticlimactic.
Well, here we are. The moment of truth. Can you believe it? You know, I wasn't sure how you'd do, but gotta say, you crushed it. Well, we crushed it. We make an amazing team.
Nearly brings us to tears.
We should do this more often. We thought it'd be better for the game if we did it this way. You know, giving you the glory after we did all the work.
Just push your button to execute our super awesome...
Wait, that was the real Sinister, right? Seriously, roll credits. We're done here.
I I do think this game is a lot of fun. It's definitely best served on PS3, where it's a lot more affordable to jump in, that is if you have the hardware. But this game really is meant for the diehard fans of Deadpool. If you like Deadpool, you're gonna like this game. If you're on the fence, maybe this game isn't the best for you. Like I said, it can lead into a looter shooter, and I think there's a lot of good mechanics here that just could have been reworked. It would help the moment-to-moment gameplay for an overall better experience. But like I said in the beginning, I feel like this game is best served just watching the cutscenes. You're really not missing out on much, but if you're a diehard fan of Deadpool, you're gonna enjoy it. But anyways, if you guys are new here, consider subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'm gonna have more of these retrospective videos coming out very, very soon. Anyways, if you're new here, subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. Until next time, peace.
You dicks hang out here often? Get it with the dicks? Get it.
Dude, seriously?
The pee-pee song. I'm gonna sing the pee-pee song.
Nice dick.